Illnesses originated from, chapter 15. Illnesses originated from junk food and bad eating habits. 第15章，疾病是吃出来的。In modern society, the content of carbohydrate and fat in our food is usually too high. The quality of protein is not high, and the content of vitamins and minerals is very low, which is the most important reason for modern diseases such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes. 在现代社会，我们食物中通常碳水化合物和脂肪的含量过高，蛋白质的品质不高，而且维生素和矿物质的含量却很少。这正是造成现代疾病的最重要的原因，如心血管疾病和糖尿病。We spent a lot of time on junk food in the last chapter. When we eat junk food, we must be clear about whether it is worth eating. The first criterion is whether the food contains essential nutrients for human body. Second is the taste. 我们上一章用大量的篇幅讲解垃圾食品。我们吃垃圾食品时要想清楚，一口吃下去到底值不值？判断标准首先是这个食物里含有人体必需的营养素吗？其次才是味道。As long as it is stale, processed, with chemical additives, out of season, or abnormal in color, you should be cautious. Think twice before eating, and your health is in your mouth. 只要是不新鲜的、加工过的、有化学添加剂的、非当季的、色泽不正常的，就要谨慎了，要三思而后吃。健康掌握在你的嘴里。Why do I often feel tired after eating junk food? The energy you eat was originally used for study, thinking, memory, labor, and to straighten your waist. But this energy is used in the wrong place, and it is used for detoxification of the liver and detoxification of the kidneys. 为什么吃了垃圾食品后会经常疲劳？你吃进去的能量本来是用来学习、思考、记忆、劳动，用来挺直腰杆的，但这些能量却用错了地方，把它用在肝脏的解毒和肾脏的排毒上了。The fried chicken wings and the French fries in our fast food restaurant, you still want to eat. Okay? Even you are full, you still want to keep eating. Why? Because of the effect of the chemical additives. Every bite will make the taste buds on the tongue feel pleasure, making people want to eat again and again. This is the commercial purpose of the food industry. 我们快餐店的炸鸡翅、薯条，你吃了还想吃，即使吃饱了，还想一直吃下去。为什么呢？因为化学添加剂的作用。每咬一口，就会让舌头上的味蕾产生快感，让人想一吃再吃。这是食品行业的商业目的。In order to let everyone pay enough attention to diseases caused by eating, I will continue to explain it from the perspective of medicals. 为了让大家对疾病是吃出来的引起足够的重视，接下来我从医学角度专业给大家讲解。I talked about the three very important medical terms in Chapter 3 of Subhealth: metabolic disorder, functional abnormality, and organic disease. If you still do not understand, you can review it. 我在第3章亚健康里讲过3个非常重要的医学名词：代谢性紊乱、功能性异常、器质性病变 如果大家还不理解，可以去复习一下。The vast majority of the diseases in human body are metabolic diseases, metabolic disorders, that is, abnormal synthesis and decomposition reactions in cells. 人体绝大多数疾病都是代谢性疾病啊，代谢性紊乱，即细胞内的合成和分解反应异常了。Metabolism is a series of reactions in cells, as shown in the figure below. The reactions in the cell are carried out continuously, one by one. No matter how much metabolism occurs in the cell every second, the metabolism in the cell has a beginning and an ending. 所谓代谢，就是细胞内的一系列的反应，如下图。细胞内的反应是一环扣一环连续进行的，不论细胞内每秒钟要发生多少代谢，细胞内的代谢都是有始有终的。Figure: Intracellular reactions are carried out continuously, loop by loop. 图：细胞内的反应是一环扣一环连续进行的。A plus B, then synthesized C. C plus D, synthesized E. E plus F, synthesized G, and so on. Then X plus Y, synthesized Z. Okay? The starting point of metabolism is the utilization of nutrients, and the end point of the metabolism is the production of substances that can perform the function of the cell. 代谢的起点呢，就是从利用营养素开始；代谢的终点呢，就是生产出能够履行该细胞功能的物质。For example, pancreatic cell B produces insulin, and the raw materials are animal acids. It is not enough to have raw materials alone. Enzymes are required for each step of the reaction, so it is necessary to use amino acids absorbed by the human body as raw materials to produce various enzymes required. You also need coenzymes, which are basically vitamins and minerals that you eat. 比如，胰岛 B 细胞生产胰岛素，原料是氨基酸，光有原料还不行，每一步反应都需要酶，所以呢，还需要以人体吸收进来的氨基酸为原料，生产所需的各种酶，还需要辅酶。辅酶基本上都是你吃进来的维生素和矿物质。Many reactions require energy, and in order to prepare it, pancreatic cells B use the carbohydrates and fats you eat to produce them. 许多反应啊都需要能量，胰岛 B 细胞为了准备这些能量，就要利用你吃进来的碳水化合物和脂肪来生产。In order to ensure that cells B can successfully produce the required insulin, cells B must not only organize their own structure, but also maintain the required various reaction environments. And these tasks depend on the protein, lipids, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, and water you intake. 为了保证 B 细胞能够顺利生产出所需的胰岛素 ，B 细胞呢，不仅要把自身的结构组织好，还要把所需的各种反应环境也维护好，而这些工作都是依靠你吃进来的蛋白质、脂类、碳水化合物、维生素、矿物质和水。Therefore, as long as the types and proportions of nutrients you eat are appropriate, all reactions in the cells will proceed normally. 所以， 只要你吃进来的营养素种类比例适当时，细胞内的所有的反应才会正常进行。In the contrary, when you eat foods that are high in carbohydrates and fats, low in vitamins and minerals, metabolic disease occurs. 相反，你吃的食物中的碳水化合物和脂肪的含量过高，而维生素和矿物质的含量却很少，代谢性疾病就发生了。Therefore, disease is caused by eating. 因此，疾病是吃出来的。Since the root cause of various metabolic diseases is almost always due to the unreasonable and unbalanced nutrients taken in, then, as long as the lack of nutrients is taken in again, the unbalanced nutrients can be eaten in a balanced manner through the powerful self-healing ability of human body. The metabolic disease is cured naturally. 既然各种代谢性疾病的根本原因几乎都是因为吃进来的营养素不合理、不均衡，那么只要把缺的营养素再吃进来，把不均衡的营养素吃均衡了，通过人体强大的自我修复能力，代谢性疾病就自然而然的治愈了。For more great contents, please visit ChineseTutorial.com/health. See you next time. 再见。